So hello, there are three of us and nice to see you here. My name is Dmytro, I'm CMO at Pluspoint. With us also Sergio and Yurii. Sergio is CEO at Pluspoint and Yurii is a founder at Centic.ai, AI first product that helps restaurants, tech and startup tooling. So that's a short intro about us. Let's jump in straight into action. So three things that have changed for the multi-location marketing and marketing in general. Of course, AI is changing it dramatically, but for example, only 1.2% of local businesses get recommended by AI search. The other 98.8% are invisible. There are a lot of reasons behind it. We will cover them during this webinar. But the thing is, to be on top, you need to be discoverable by AI, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google AI search, etc., etc. The second big update is that Google has launched Ask Maps. Now it's operational only in the US for now, but it will be available worldwide quite soon. So what it is? Actually, it's ChatGPT for maps, like now to find, I don't know, a cozy location to work with a laptop, with ability to bring a dog or a kangaroo, I don't know. People not just look on maps, they ask maps, okay, where can I find a cafe to work with a good latte or matcha, stuff like this. So, and Google provides only 3-4 tailored recommendations to the request. And this is also completely changes the way people find local businesses, and you need to be discoverable in Ask Maps to be recommended and to get more people traffic. And the third big change is the introducement of Claude Code, Claude Cowork, and similar like MCP-driven services. So if you haven't used it, actually it's ChatGPT, but it can actually does things for you. For example, you can ask Claude, I don't know, to analyze your HubSpot data and deliver you a report, or you can ask it to generate an email, to generate an image for this email and then send it. So it's actually like a digital employee that does the work for you. By the way, we have questions, like we have chats. So if you have questions, please leave them here, and we will answer them at the end of the webinar. What we will cover during this webinar: how to set up these tools. Actually, we'll cover like 3 tools: Claude, Pluspoint, and Lovable, and Centic, 4 tools. How to set up it, how to be more visible and get more foot traffic to your locations, how to manage your listings via AI and update, I don't know, hundreds of locations listings on hundreds of directories via a couple of chat responses and prompts, how to generate more reviews, what is important while generating a review, and how to use reviews to get into ChatGPT AI search, how to create a 14-day plan of content during like 30 minutes, 60 minutes, like in 1 hour time. Before it took, I don't know, a couple of days to do that, and a team of people. Right now you can do it just via Claude Code chat and also a couple of MCPs. We will create a short website for your location, for example, and Microtools for this website to get more traffic to the website both and to your locations. How to automate your operations with AI, and Q&A section. So 3 tools we will cover: Claude, Pluspoint, Lovable. You can see the pricing here. So Claude actually you can use for free, like very basic features, but to be able to work effectively, you need a $100 subscription. Pluspoint, $40 per month per locations. Lovable starting from $25, and you will also need to pay for additional services, API costs actually. For example, if you want to generate an image via Claude, you will need to buy some credits, but usually the price is not so high as the tools mentioned. So let's start. First, we need to set up context for our project. and I'm opening Claude. So Claude is a tool, actually, like GPT from Anthropic. If you haven't used it, it's pretty straightforward and similar. And the big advantage is that it has projects. Like you can set up a project which has all the context you need, and we will take a cafe, a New York cafe, which is called Blue Bottle Cafe, and I will just show you how to set up the context. So first, you need to teach AI about your locations, about your brand, and I'm sure that you have stuff like logotypes, like, I don't know, marketing strategies, researches, etc., etc. So I won't be covering that like very in detail because we don't have much time. But for example, even we are analyzing some brand like we don't have access we don't have access to the documentation, but we can actually just take a website, a logo, and that will be enough for some basic stuff. So I have saved the website of these guys, Blue Bottle Coffee. We have created the project, and now AI has some context like. So let's see this website. So here's the location we have chosen to upgrade, like to do marketing for. Here is the website. I just saved it, and now AI knows some basic context. But the thing is, the more context you provide, the better the outputs are. So this is about context. Next, let's create some useful stuff. So here is a prompt. It's pretty big, actually, because so this is interactive presentation. You can see just a part of it, but if I input it into a document, this is quite a big prompt, which audits a chosen Google Maps location, and it runs a very detailed audit, which shows you what you need to improve to get more foot traffic. I have pre-run it, so we don't have to wait for it. So here we can see that this prompt, actually this report, has a lot of information to, yeah, here it is, to work on. For example, here's the whole report. And it has found, for example, an inconsistency that people can see the opening hours on the website, but AI bots can't see it because for them it renders like closed. So we have found an inconsistency via this audit, and which prevents Blue Bottle Coffee from being found on Google Maps. So this is just one of the insights from this audit, but we can see that there is a complete checklist on how to optimize the Google business profile of this business, on how it can be found better via local SEO, what needs to be fixed, how it can be found better via AI search engines and stuff like this. So as you can see, that's pretty a lot of information which you can actually fix quite fast and get results quite fast, but you can spend like 5 minutes to get it, and I don't know, another hour to fix it via our MCPs, which we will show a bit later. So this is one of the possibilities how you can use Claude Code to optimize your Google My Business profile and other directories. We won't stop for long here. You will get this presentation, you will get this prompt, so you can run this Google Maps audit for your place and find stuff to fix. Let's go to the next slide. And here is another prompt. For example, you haven't done rebranding for some time and your competitors started to go ahead of you. That means that it would be good to explore how to upgrade your brand. And this prompt proposes you 8 brand concepts. It first runs a very detailed research on your competitors. For this, in Claude, there is such a feature which is called actually research. Please activate it while doing this. And it will propose you 8 brand concepts, one of which will be an upgraded version of your current one and 7 new ones, which take into account all of the competitors analysis, all of the current trends, stuff like this. So please feel free to explore. You will also get this prompt and you can get some ideas how to upgrade your brand and then even create the whole brand book based on this. So any questions for now? If yes, please type them in a chat. I will check. Yeah, no questions for now, but you are always welcome. Okay, the next prompt. It's very important for you to have good quality photos on your Google My Business profile, and you don't always need, to make qualitative photos or bring a photographer, because actually by using this prompt, which you'll also get, and MCP connection to ChatGPT, we will send instructions how to set this up. You will be able to upgrade any photo, the quality of the photos on your place, just by running this prompt. Let me show you how it looks. Just a minute. Okay. So, for example, here we can see the updated image, and here is the original one. So you can see that the original image is like very low quality, has a lot of clutter in it. It's not very bright and stuff like this. But if we check the updated image, it looks very clean, very professional, and but it's still the same image. So you can do it just by running via prompt. And of course, it's tiring. I don't know, for example, if you have 50 images to update, it can take some time. But by running this prompt and just adding the images into a chat, you can have them upgraded just in a minute in bulk. And actually, you don't even need to collect them. By running this prompt and connecting Pluspoint, you can it automatically fetches the best images from all of your locations, chooses them, upgrades, and you can also upload them to that location again. So this is another thing that boosts your local SEO and also the conversion of Google Maps for you to get more foot traffic. So another prompt for you that actually does a similar thing, but it doesn't just upgrade your photo, it turns it into advertisement. So let's see how it works with the same image. You don't have to go to ChatGPT for this. It's all available via Claude. I'm just using it for a more straightforward process. So actually, we can see the same image, but it's turned into an infographic. You can cut the bottom part, and here you can see that we got an ad just by running a prompt, and you can also do it in bulk. And you can use it in both your Google My Business profile, or for example, to post on Facebook or run an ad on Facebook, so stuff like this. Any questions? And please provide feedback if you if you, for example, have questions about MCP or stuff like this, I will be happy to cover it more right now. Q&A. Okay. Yeah, nice. Sorry, Joao. Okay, can I run it on Claude Code to analyze two locations in the same prompt for a GMB profile? Yes, totally. So it works both like for single locations, or you can analyze it for 10 locations in bulk. Just for 10 locations, it will take more time. And I will show you, so in Claude, chat is just like a simple chat, with ChatGPT. So it mostly just gives you answers and stuff like this. But co-work and code are more interesting. So code is actually mostly for coding. We won't cover it today. But co-work is that digital employee I mentioned. I mean, you can see, for example, here is my thread of preparing the presentation for this webinar. So I haven't designed even an image here. I just asked him, I provided all the materials, it generated the images, it generated this interactive presentation, stuff like this. So it works this way. So yes, you can do it for multiple locations. Okay, is ChatGPT subscription needed to improve images? No, but you need API. Actually, it's cheaper than subscription. So for example, to upgrade these images, as I mentioned, I can show you. I spent, I don't know, like 10 cents, maybe via ChatGPT API. So I just went here, and you can see here's my credits consumption. For April, I spent $2, so it's less than $20 of subscription, though I started to use it quite heavily after the latest update. Okay, you show all steps as a separate tools, as a separate actions via AI tools. I evaluate the biggest challenge for AI at the moment as an opportunity to stay stable via integration or different steps through marketing ecosystem. How do you evaluate the opportunity to create an agent which is available for stable and consistent marketing funnel? Because my experience says that it is still impossible to combine different tools under a single window approach and to make its operation stable and predictable. Curious to hear about your experience. Sorry, I will leave this question for the Q&A section. It will just take a bit longer, but I will definitely answer it. Thank you. So this prompt, as I mentioned, generates banners for you, advertisements and stuff like this. But I bet you are the most interested in some proper, proper automation. So here I will show you two prompts. I have pre-ran them, so it took like 1.5 hours of Claude work here, but it provided me the materials, the marketing content for 2 weeks for these locations. So this prompt, it writes a 14-day content plan, both reels and images and copy, like everything at once. And it's a strategist, actually. So it creates like a content plan, and also you can combine it with this skill. Do you know what Claude skills are? So actually Claude skills is like, I would say it's a specialty, as a profession for an AI. So it allows AI Claude to have higher degree of specialization. And for this, I used two skills. One of the skills is SMM strategist. You will get the skill as well, and the instructions how to install it. And actually what it does, it leverages the latest trends, the latest tactics, SMM approaches to write this content strategy. And the second skill is called stop slop. So it actually writes AI copy in a way that it doesn't sound like AI copy, no those M dashes, passive voice and stuff like this. So pretty convenient. How this prompt works? It works in a way that you get this plan as a JSON file. So it's actually quite hard to read for a human, but the second step. So you can see, yeah, this is the whole content plan, but it's written for a machine, for AI. It's easier for them to understand. By running this prompt, we got this plan. And after that, I provided, you can see that I provided some photos of locations and ran the second prompt. I call it executor, like this prompt is strategist, the second is executor. This is also quite big prompt. And what it does, it generates the content, actually. It generates copy, images, and even reels, even videos. I will show you how it looks. And it compiles all of this stuff into an interactive HTML file, like I'm showing you now. This is a presentation, which I was done with it, but this is an interactive calendar, SMM, which will show you in convenient format how to, like, all the content is generated, actually. So how it looks in Claude. Here as I have inserted this prompt, and you can see like blah, 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 quite a lot of information, quite a lot of stuff. And it uses, here we can see VR 3.1 for Reels. This is a Google model, but I will also show you Seedance 2.0. This is a model by Danes, and right now it's like the superior in terms of video generation. It's thinking, and then, yeah, it combines this into the calendar I mentioned. So how it looks? It looks very convenient, actually. So here you can see, it created a content plan for this location from May 1st to May 14, like for 2 weeks. And it has both copy, images, and reels. So for example, we can see the image, like the clean image I've provided. It shows all of the operational info. It has the caption, so we can use it, we can use it for Instagram and copy the image and post it there. We can also provide feedback to AI, like approve or needs a revision, what revision, etc. So this is how images look. And we can see that like images are great. So for example, here is a review about the location in its brand's tone of voice. And even a joke like the New Orleans iced coffee is crack. Took us 24 years to earn a review like that. We will take it. So here you can see, for example, promotions to Mother's Day. It's a Reels. Not a perfect one, but I can show you the other ones that are like great. We see that all of the images are generated in brand aesthetics and look great, I think. So here is, for example, for the Mother's Day reminder that like you can bring your mother coffee and stuff like this. Let's check some more reels, for example. Yeah. So all of them coffee related, blah, blah, blah. And another one. You can see that they are very short, 8 seconds, but actually right now with that Seedance, you can extend, actually have 15-second reels, which are very convenient. And after getting this calendar, you don't have to post it manually. Later, you can just ask Claude to, if you have Pluspoint MCP, you can just ask Claude to plan, to schedule them across the week, like the one you approved. And it will just automatically be scheduled across all of your channels and published there. And it's very important for local SEO and especially AI search, because they pull data from social media and especially posts from Google My Business profiles. And if they see fresh posts, they recommend it more. So this is another factor that contributes to this. Yeah, so next. Yeah, this is the prompt that actually schedules the post, as we mentioned. I wanted also to show you just a minute other types of reels which are made by that Seedance model. They look actually even better. So let's see. Again, this was made like in bulk in 1.5 hours, but I think it looks like, especially if you have multiple locations, and it also can create tailored content to each location. It just needs more tokens and stuff like this. But you can see even that it uses the logo type, it uses the branding. I showed you this reel. Okay, let's another one. This is the last one, I promise. It is just magic for me, so I get a bit more over-engaged. Okay, so you can schedule this post, publish them, and you can actually, like run this operation once per 2 weeks and have all of your social media contents up and running just by doing this in a couple of hours. The next one. On top of that, you can create a website from a prompt and the context provided. For this, we are using another tool, which is called Lovable. We have pre-built the website, but it took like 10-15 minutes to do it. So here is the website we created for this brand. And also it uses Pluspoint MCP to build an interactive map of locations. So here's the website. You can see that it looks very lovely. And here is the map built by using the MCP. And I think Sergio could say a bit more about it later. But that's not it. That's not all. We can also improve this website by building additional microservices for it. And this is a prompt which suggests you ideas for the website. I will run it and just a minute, and we will see. So here's the prompt. I'm also picking the location indicator. Yeah, and while it's running, we will get some ideas. I will check the questions, so please feel free to ask now. And I'm soon finishing my section, and passing the word to Sergio. Just a moment. So no questions for now. No, I see some questions. Okay. Yeah, question from Alex Netsivka. Cool, love the calendar with the content pieces examples. Question, models versions are changed, upgraded every month, quarter. Does the prompt need to be updated and improved every period of time too? Or do you think these are good to use for the next couple of months? Okay, example, let's say VR 4.0 will be live. We need to update slightly all the prompts. Well, yes and no, because so the prompts mostly ask to use the latest model, but just in case something is missing, you can insert the prompt to Claude, ask it to upgrade to the latest version, 1 minute, and it's done. Yeah, I'm looking forward to actually VR 4.0 because they have this competition with ByteDance, and it's exciting to see. Nice. Can I also program the posts on Claude to post on GMB, or there are other tools for that? Yes, if you have a connection with Pluspoint via MCP. So MCP is actually like a service that allows AIs to use tools. For example, MCP with Pluspoint allows to use Pluspoint via Claude. So you can just ask it to post on Google My Business profiles, and yeah, it's done. Let's see what we got, what ideas we got. I think I used the wrong, yeah, I used the wrong prompt, sorry. No, it's just two-stage prompt, okay. Okay, anyway, let's build something on the fly. The prompt will give you ideas, but we can do it without it. So we can ask it to, for example, add another page. So this is a cafe near the Central Park in New York. And we can ask it, add another page with the cycling itineraries. Routes in Central Park, when why? Yeah, it will take like a couple of minutes to build, but the thing is that we can think about additional needs of people, like pains, needs, all this value proposition stuff, to come up with micro tools, microservices for our website and provide it on our website. So people have another touch point with our brand, another nudge to visit our location. This is a very cool tool for getting foot traffic to your place. So yeah, let's see what's next. Next is Sergio. So actually, let's just check what we will get at the end of the webinar in the Q&A section, because Lovable takes some time to build. And I'm passing the word to Sergio, who will show you how actually to generate reviews, how to manage locations via Claude and Pluspoint MCP connection. So thank you. And if you have questions, please leave them. We will definitely answer them all at the end of the webinar.
All right, Dmytro, thank you so much for this amazing presentation, for videos and photos. It was really exciting to see it. Hi, everyone. I'm going to talk about another aspect of marketing, local marketing, and in particular, local SEO. Local SEO is very important for businesses because 47% of Google searches have local intent. These are people who are asking for nearby clinics, restaurants, plumbers, and any kind of offline business. And it's really important because there's so many people asking for local businesses. It's so important to be on top of those search results for any local business. I'm just wondering, like, while I do this presentation, if any of you manages local businesses, please like send it like thumbs up or plus. So I just understand kind of our audience. But all right, we have some thumbs ups. Great. Yeah. So as I mentioned, local SEO is very important, and basically local SEO to be ranked high on Google or even AI, because AI under the hood uses the same logic, the same algorithms, maybe some different, some small differences. But overall, in order to rank high, you need to focus on the first, like on those three things, like profile completeness on Google, your online reviews, rankings, your volume of reviews, velocity of reviews. And the third one is your local citations from different local directories like EX, Yellow Pages, and so on. And when you have a lot of locations, it's becoming like very difficult to manage everything. You have, for every location, you have hundreds of listings, and it's very become very kind of time-consuming to make sure that every information is up to date, is updated, and full and synchronized. And this is why we like one of the things that we do at Pluspoint to make sure that it's much easier for you to manage this in one place. So let me go ahead and share my screen and show you what I mean. So here we have Pluspoint. It shows all the locations for my business, Blue Bottle Coffee. the one that Dmitry already showed to you. And I can see we have here a optimization score metric. It shows how your locations are complete, how they are optimized for local SEO. And we can see that while most of my locations are well optimized, they have a very high score. I have a few in New York City that's probably less optimized than the other ones. Let's see why it's happening this way. So I can see, for example, that email is absent for this location. We have work hours. This is very great. This is very convenient because clients can find us and see like when we operate. But at the same time, I see that descriptions is something that we probably can update. We also see that services are empty and there's only one primary category. It's all these factors are really important for Google search, for local SEO. And we also see that payment methods are empty. And I can update all those locations manually. So I can, for example, I even in Pluspoint can ask Pluspoint to write description, but it's going to take a lot of time, especially if I have a lot of locations. So there's a better way to do it with AI. You ask me this question, and I will answer yes, of course. For this, we have Claude, right? And Claude connects through Pluspoint MCP to Pluspoint, and we can ask Claude to do anything we want. So in this case, I'm gonna ask Claude to use Pluspoint MCP to update these New York City locations and to follow our other locations like as a guideline to make sure that everything is on like following our branding standards and guidelines. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask Claude to do this work for me. And while it's doing this work, it's gonna probably take some time because it's although it's only 3 locations, but still it's it will have to analyze every location, and you see that it's already connected to Pluspoint and then doing this research. So while it's doing this job, I will, in the meantime, show you something else that you can do with Claude and with Pluspoint integrations. So as I mentioned already, reviews is another thing that's very important for every business. And it's in particular making sure that you have a lot of reviews, review velocity, that you constantly get new reviews. Those reviews, ideally, you would like them to be positive. And it's very important also to reply to those reviews because this is what your clients value. They see that you care about reviews. And also Google and other AI providers, they see that profiles are engaged, so they rank it higher. So here, for example, I asked Claude to analyze my reviews. And I mean, although it could have done it by just searching information online, but it wouldn't have found like all the reviews because those tools are very like Claude, they are outside, like out of the box, they are very limited in their functionality and their ability to search online profiles. In this case, it's connected to Pluspoint, so it pulls all information from Pluspoint, and it showed me a very convenient dashboard that's showing how many reviews I received in this year, what's the average rating, how this rating is going. And I see that, all right, so reviews are going up. This is great. But at the same time, like a rating probably is not so great. We have a lot of negative reviews. And I want to understand why, like what are people complaining about? So I'm asking a follow-up question. What were the key themes of customer complaints? And it gives me a very robust analysis of every, it's analyzed every customer complaint and show me what are the key trends. So for example, I can see that a lot of people complain about wait times. Some people complain about unfriendly staff. This is something definitely I want to address. There's another thing, like for example, wrong hours and location information. This is something that actually we can do with Pluspoint, with and update and send just a message in real time. Okay, so update work hours on those locations to make sure that they are accurate. And it's gonna update this information right away, so I don't need even to switch back and log into Pluspoint or any tools or Google My Business, anything like this. Yeah, I want to dig deeper. I'm asking which locations have the most serious issues and what specifically needs to be addressed at every location. And voila, it gives me a very detailed analysis, basically an audit, right? I don't know what, like how long it's gonna took me to have this analysis by myself, but I have it just in a couple of minutes, and it shows me like my biggest troublemakers and what are the key problems they have, and some even suggest me some like what I can do to improve. So let's see what findings and insights I can get from this report. So it says, okay, San Jose, the worst store in portfolio, but the main problem is not people, but actually throughput, right? And basically, it says that a lot of people complain about wait times, like long queues. So it says that, it gives me a suggestion. Hey, install a second espresso machine dedicated for mobile orders, split the queue with separate baristas. So really actionable item, not only complaints. Now I have like an idea what I can do to improve it. Or for Fillmore, for example, it says the opposite. Well, this is a hospitality problem, not operational one. A lot of people are complaining about people being rude. So actually your actions here is try to carry out like a training, retraining for your entire shift, and even or maybe consider a leadership change. So this is also very detailed and actionable item that I can definitely do to improve my service and make sure that my clients are happier. So yeah, very convenient, very useful for you to analyze, to understand how the business is doing, what needs to improve in your locations. Let's go back and see how our update is going. All right, I can see that it finished this job. So let me go back to Pluspoint and see if my completeness score is improved. All right, so I can see it went up from about 50% to 81%. Let's see why this has changed. I can see that now I have email populated. I have descriptions, and as you can see, these are not boilerplate descriptions. These are specific descriptions for every location. It's very important for local SEO that you also include location-specific keywords that clients may search. For example, here it says Rockefeller Plaza and so on, like some streets nearby, landmarks. And this is really good because people may ask like, hey, what is the closest location to Rockefeller Center and so on. And it's gonna it will give Google and AI tools more signals, more keywords to handle kind of those requests. It also looked up other locations and saw that I have like services, so it used the services that are consistent with other locations. It's added additional categories from Google. Really, it's critical for every location to have them populated and have as many as possible. And it added payment methods. So this information is automatically published to Google and many more than 100 actually directories. So for example, here I can see that all my location, this are my location, this is a profile that I have. They are either not found, not published, or there are conflicts with the description that I have in Pluspoint and with, for example, Yelp. So what I can do, I can go ahead and now publish this update, and basically all this information is going to be published to those locations. It's going to take some time. It doesn't happen immediately because we have so many providers that we push this information on. But yeah, this will be handled by Pluspoint. So these are a very kind of small thing that or like narrow scope that Pluspoint does. But it's even like those steps that we just showed only took like 10 minutes for us to do it. But it's already is gonna give a lot of impact. On average, we see that businesses that just do this cleanup increase their online visits by 20% on Google profiles. And those visits are actually very valuable because the conversion from those visits is on average is about 30%. So 30% who open your online profiles end up going to the location, making a phone call to location, going to website. So these are very valuable leads, and this is an immediate result that's benefits that you can see that improve your margin. And there's a lot of other steps that you can do, through Pluspoint. You can collect more reviews. You can schedule and automate surveys, customer surveys. You can respond to customer complaints. You can manage marketing campaigns and send coupons. You can publish posts. But all these things are outside of the scope of this demonstration. We only want to focus today on online presence, but at the same time, I also want to say that online presence is probably not the only thing that businesses and business leaders need to care about. It's really also important to make sure that your operations are going well, right? So one thing is like driving clients to your location. Another thing is making sure that everything is working smooth and well and like well-oiled machine. And for this, AI can also help us with showing you where the bottlenecks are, how to improve your operations. And for this reason, we have also Yurii, who's our guest, and he also uses AI to help restaurant chains to manage their operations. So Yurii, over to you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Sergey. Welcome to this webinar, and hi from Centic. We only have 10 minutes left, but I'll try to be brief. While Pluspoint and its ecosystem allows you to perform better in digital and online, there are more that AI can do, and AI is a very strong tool, not just for the marketing, but for the operations, finding disbalances, finding opportunities, and really analyzing how your restaurant performs. And for that, we created this tool called Centic. And the idea of our platform is pretty simple. The restaurants who work with us, they stream all of their data from all of their tech tools. And restaurants operate in the real world, so all the sales and all the activities are happening in the real locations. So we stream data from POS and labor and loyalty and KDS. And we also stream data for the weather and events, and we bring it all into one big data lake, essentially a large database. And in the world of AI, enabling AI to be able to look into your data is a big unlocker, and allowing Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini to work with your data will give you a lot of insights that you cannot just see by yourself, or you need to have a team of data analysts or just a data analyst in your company. And the bigger and the more comprehensive your operation is, the more you need to work with data rather than rely on your gut feelings. We've seen that in North America, the threshold beyond which it's very hard to quantify how your restaurant performs without having reports is after $3 million AUV and after approximately 30 employees. This is where one person cannot just handle it all. A founder or an owner or GM needs tools to be better. And today I want to show you an example that you can go to our website, Centic.ai, and click this button, try for free, and you'll be able to configure the same connector into your Claude or ChatGPT, which I already did while the guys were presenting other marketing tools. So I connected Centic to clean conversation in Claude and a clean conversation in ChatGPT. And I started with this prompt asking it to connect to this restaurant called King's Landing via Centic. It did connect, looked through the data. We spent quite a bit of effort building this tool. So the moment you connect your restaurant to Claude, it already knows what platforms you're using, what data is available in these platforms, and so on. And one of the popular questions that our customers ask is to analyze sales per labor hour, one of the key metrics of any restaurant. And you just simply ask Centic, you ask Claude to connect the data to Centic, and you ask this combination to analyze sales per labor hour, and everything else just happens magically. It looks into the data, it pulls the time period, and starts looking into it, and comes up with the exact calculations and exact formulas that work for your business, considering your tech stack. The data we have in King's Landing is actually derived data of a real restaurant. So if you want to play around with it, just ask it anything. It has labor, it has POS, it has open table reservations, it has the weather, and so on. So it comes up with these, but Claude is powerful is building charts. And this is what many people find very useful, especially when working with the data. And it comes up with recommendations, and you can choose the model. And the question one of you had about the models that they keep changing. The fact that they keep changing is actually a very good fact because the models are getting better and better. And using, for example, Opus 4.7 on the maximum settings will give you the deepest level of analysis. And when there's Opus 5 and 6, these models will be able to find so much more in your data, and they can process data sets and amounts of data in a way that humans just can't do. And the only problem getting models to work and mine these insights for each restaurant that you represent is to make this data available to AI. And you can download reports from every single tool, CSV reports, PDF reports. You can drop them here and chat, and AI will take some time to digest them and come up with more or less the same numbers. But it will make more mistakes. It will take more time and burn through more tokens. And the worst part is that you will have to repeat this again and again every moment you need to get the new data. So finding the tool and finding a tag that will bring all of your data in one place and have that single connector and allow AI to look into not just your online, but also your offline will unlock a lot of opportunities. So looking at sales per labor hour, you can actually see on which days you overstaff and understaff, on which days you're not performing well, and work with your floor manager or location manager to improve it. Another popular use case is actually, I want to switch to ChatGPT, which I asked exactly the same thing. The beauty of these connectors is that they work with any chat provider out there. I asked it about the same question, and it went down and started to look and came up with exactly the same numbers because under the hood, it's trained on the same set of instructions, same skills, and tracking your labor percentage. Labor is such an important metric in every restaurant. It's one of the only metrics you can control to make your business perform better, and this is one of the few metrics that owners really care about because your food cost is locked, your lease is locked, but your labor is variable, and your labor depends on a million factors. The day of the week, holidays versus non-holidays, the weather, the food traffic, the game on the stadium across the street, and things like that. Giving AI all of this data and just asking it to come up with a schedule for next week is possible when you have this setup. So you can see that ChatGPT came up with exactly the same numbers, had sales totals and subtotals, but you can go deeper. You can find specific order that, a party that didn't pay and needed a refund and the server was confused and did the wrong refund. AI will be able to find every single data point in your system as long as you have it all in one place. The next and the last sample I wanted to show is calculating server performance score. Servers in our industry, there's a lot of churn in servers. You rarely find a restaurant that has a server that stayed there for 10 years or 15 years. Typically, the average time the server spends with location is a couple months. They come and go. It really depends on the type of the restaurant as well. But if you're talking about, for example, full table service and fine dining, the servers don't stay much. And those that stay, you need to make sure that they get incentivized and they get motivated to stay with you. But first, you need to identify, do these servers actually perform well? And it's not your just gut feeling. Some locations, they have 30, 40, 50 servers working in shifts. You need data to prove that. And in this case, I asked Claude to build me a server performance score, and I didn't know what I'm looking at. And it asked me back, which components should it look into? Average check, tip, speed covers per hour or checks per hour, void and discount rate. I responded, and it went down into the data for that month and came up with this formula, a weighted formula, and scored all of my 75 servers that I have in this data set, and found that Harper Flynn and Blake Morris and 8 other performing really well, and it found servers that perform not so well, and found servers that needs to be worked on, coached. Sometimes it's not about them just being a bad server. Sometimes it's about coaching and helping them understand where their gaps are. Is it a hospitality part of the service, or is it the food or the speed of service, or just overall impression of the location and things like that. Again, AI allows you to spend minutes calculating these scores instead of typically spending hours trying to get this data, or not working backwards from the data at all. So there are a million use cases here, infinite use cases, in fact. But the point is that you can make the real impact by optimizing your labor, optimizing your marketing, optimizing your sales, and understanding strengths and weaknesses of your location of your business using AI, as long as you provide it with enough data. There are multiple different connectors that we offer, but in the world of AI, building a connector is not hard. Building a data lake is a little more complicated, and that's what we do at Centic. And I think I am on time. If you guys have questions, I'm happy to ask Claude anything you like about this data.
I do have one question, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Sorry for not waiting my turn. For example, you mentioned that there's so many factors that affect, right, the occupancy of restaurants. Like, I don't know, some events that might be going on in in this area, or even weather. Is there a way to connect those public data, like events and weather forecast, and then kind of use Claude to forecast occupancy, and then basically so the owner can kind of have more people on the shift?
It is definitely possible. And the point is that you're not looking into the historical data, you're looking into the forecasted data. And the weather is pretty well forecasted in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 days. And typically you launching weekly schedules, and then you adjust. So the weekly forecast of the weather helps give you a baseline if your location is driven by weather. To know that, you first need to analyze, look at your sales over the last 12 months and ask Claude to confirm if there's a correlation or not. Similarly to events, if you're close to a crowded place, and we know that location is the ultimate driver of sales for the restaurant businesses. If you're close to a park, or if you're close to a stadium or a museum or a cinema, or you in the mall, there are different dynamics depending on where you really are. So you start with Claude looking at your actual address. You tell it, hey, I'm located here. Tell me what's near and tell me the profile of the customers I might expect walking into the door. If you're using OpenTable, some locations, they have up to 80% of covers through OpenTable. And OpenTable gives you, if you're up to 80% booked through OpenTable, your next day is already known. And the day after that is most likely known as well. So it's about finding these factors that impact your sales. And both OpenTable, weather, and events are known into the future. So you just find what works for you and what impacts your sales, and work backwards. Claude knows and can look. It can look up newsfeed and tell what will happen in Harbourfront and Toronto during the months of May, and try to come up with recommendations for you if you're driven by the events in the area. But we recommend streaming them into the database for the quick access. You don't want to be waiting for minutes to have this data scraped. You also want to be confident that we scraped the right data, and that's our responsibility to bring the right data into the database.
Awesome. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you. So let's go to the Q&A section. We have some questions already. But actually, I promised, so here is a bit more about Yurii service Centic.ai. And here is our contacts, but I promised you to check out how this micro tool for the website works. And while Sergio and Yurii were speaking, I actually used the prompt I inserted into Claude. It provided me 20 micro services ideas, micro sites ideas for the website, and I enjoyed a couple of them quite much. So first is a seat availability prediction in a park nearby. This is quite a cool tool. So it built a tool which syncs in real time with weather and also uses historical data on how busy is the park. And it shows you, like, you can replace the map here just by prompting a bit, but it shows in real time, like, the best place to find an available seat right now. And this is, like, I think a very good service for a cafe. And you can, whether you are a retail business or, I don't know, a realtor, you can code for yourself similar stuff. And another funny thing is, like, this cafe is near Broadway, and like Broadway quiz match. For example, you choose a Broadway show and it recommends you a drink for it. Like, of course, you also need to work on it, I don't know, provide real photos, stuff like this. But this is still a fun thing for people to explore, which creates emotions, which creates relations to a brand, and also brings them to your location. So by using this prompt and finding some original ideas for additional fun stuff on your website, you will get more clients as well. Yeah, about questions. So we have at least 3 for now. Thank you. So first, Vladislav's questions actually I will sum this up. That for now we don't have a single window application that does the whole marketing cycle in itself. I agree, but I think the world is going there. First and second, still by integrations via MCPs and APIs, you can have really a lot. And for example, right now, I don't know, like 70%, I would say, of my work time is in Claude right now, because I have a lot of MCPs there, like ChatGPT, Gemini are connected for, and Seedance connected for images and video generation, Pluspoint for working with local, with locations and location marketing and automating actually is a full life cycle. What other MCPs I have? Like pretty a lot, HubSpot and so on. So right now I think we are moving to the place where we will be managing everything from one window, Claude, or anything that replaces it. Okay, a question. Can I update the phone number of my restaurants in bulk? 3 locations when you use the same number for reservations. Yes, you can do it via Pluspoint MCP as well, just by asking Claude or to do it. So yeah. And the last question from Alex Nitsivka. I think this is question, it's better if Sergio answers it. So, is it possible to match name and full name of a person who left a review with the CRM to search for this customer? If not found in the company's CRM, can we identify fake bad reviews? I assume yes, but have you tried this?
Right. Thank you for great questions. I would only add for previous question about phone number is that you can definitely update phone numbers for your locations. The only thing is that Google is kind of very fragile for some data points that you have. And for example, so there are some critical data points. There are on your locations. It's a primary category. It's a phone number, main contact phone number. And if you update this information on Google, you may be required to re-verify your business by sending going through common steps on Google, like either recording business video or making a phone call to this number. So just be careful with updating those critical fields like primary category and phone number, because like Google may flag your business and actually take away access to it, and you would have to re-verify it. I would definitely not encourage to make too many updates of those critical. So don't never change like phone number and categories at the same time. So try to do it at least, well, avoid changing primary category. But if you kind of really need to make those changes, try kind of do it like spread it over time, and maybe this week change phone number, see that the location is verified, everything like the updates are reflected, and then wait maybe for a couple of more weeks or even months to change another critical field. So be careful with it. This is a very kind of critical for Google. For other directories, it's not a problem. So you can, like on Google, on Pluspoint, you can update these fields and they are automatically pushed to those directories and no verification is needed. For example, on Apple Maps, on Bing, the updates will be reflected almost simultaneously. Then regarding the question about reviews and matching reviews to context, that's a very great question. And we have actually this functionality at Pluspoint. So here, when you go to reviews, you can here see like assign contact. So you can do it either manually, like from your CRM. I don't have any context. This is a test kind of environment, but if you had context, you would be able to assign context manually. Or what Pluspoint does, it's a bit challenging because like on Google, people may go under different names. They could have nicknames. Recently, Google introduced this. So it's hard to match. And sometimes you kind of, you don't want to match maybe everyone automatically just from your entire customer base. Your customer base could have like thousands of leads or tens of thousands of leads, right? And there will definitely be some match that will be close enough for AI to match it, and it may not be the same person. And when, for example, we assign those contacts to reviews, you can see then on the contact, you can see the timeline, basically whether they visited you, whether they left review, what review it was, and so on. So we show everything in their timeline. The problem, if you do it like just match every contact, you're gonna have a lot of false positive. So what we came up with, actually, we only match contacts when there is an event, when customer had some engagement with your platform, with your business. So, for example, whether if they recently had a visit, they left, and there is a review from a pure person who has like a similar name, then in this case we're gonna match. So we don't match it with everyone. We match it based on the close events, and if we do see that, if Pluspoint sees that there was like that the customer engaged and visited your business. So yeah, and you can then use it for example, to send like coupons to your clients, right? To send message thanking them for leaving a review, and so on and so forth. For fake reviews, I mean, especially if it's a positive review, I would definitely assume that, okay, if person left a positive review, then it's fake and you have to do something about it. For negative reviews, basically, Google has guidelines how to deal with fake reviews. And if you can prove that this person that this review is fake, it was made by a competitor, or it has like some information that not related to this business, then you can report review to Google. But it only kind of has to meet certain criteria, and Google has this guideline on what reviews can be taken down if they're fake, or if they kind of share private information, or if they somehow break Google policies. So yeah, but I wouldn't encourage to treat every review that's coming from people not in your CRM as fake, definitely. Hope it answers your question.
Thanks. And I see another questions from Ivan. So, do we need a separate MCP for video generation ability? If yes, could you please name it? Yes. So I use two connectors actually. So I showed you both. Where Google MCP actually. So Google doesn't have Gemini doesn't have direct MCP connection to Claude, but we have built a custom connector which does it. You will get all of the MCPs we have created for Claude. I mean Pluspoint, I mean Google and ChatGPT and Seedance. And Seedance is the second model. Seedance 2.0, it was released, I think, like 2 weeks ago, and before it got a lot of hype because you can search a video, Tom Cruise versus Brad Pitt fight. So it was generated via Seedance 2.0, and it's so freaking realistic. It looks like really you're watching a movie. So Seedance 2.0 for now is the most advanced video model, and for this we have built a custom MCP how to connect it. You will need an open router account. You will just need to generate API key and insert it into this MCP, and you will be able to generate videos via Claude Code without any problems. Yeah. So no questions, yeah? All answered. Okay. Guys, thank you very much for attendance. Thank you very much for being active. Just in case you have any questions, you can ask them. You will get the presentation and all the links. You can also write to our email post. Okay, sorry, I'm living in England, so post is the word. You can write to our email here, and you will get all of the materials structured possibly tomorrow. So please check your email. You will get all of the prompts, all of the MCPs, and stuff we have discussed. Yeah. Thank you again, and have a good day or evening, depending on where you are. Cheers.